Okay, part 3. We've set up our bases. We've mixed our paints. I put a quick little dab of paint on. This is Angela with Creatively Done. We're working on our Phoenix chain pull triptych. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to take and not really flood the canvas, but I'm going to put a daub of white, or a dab of white, in the center of each, and then make sure that there's some fluid paint on there and not get too much. And this is part 3 of our Phoenix chain pull, and hopefully we're recording. It looks like we are. Good. And what I'm going to do is I'm using a silicone brush. Oh, close your paint. Learn from me. Close your paints up, because inevitably you end up bumping something. And in part 1 I told you how I mixed my paints. This is Saks White with Floetrol and Glue All, Elmer's Glue All, and GAC 800. And all I'm doing now is I'm going to put down some white, hopefully not have too much schmutz on there. Don't want to have too much paint, because then everything tends to get a little gummy on a chain pull. And hopefully I have enough. I'm going to turn off my overhead fan so it doesn't dry the paint. And it also makes it quieter. So you guys, don't want you guys to miss my melodic voice here. And cover this. I have my push pins in. What I'm going to do next, and this paint should level out. I'm not really worried about it. This is a test. I'm going to be doing this on 10 by 20s, and I didn't want to not test my method before I did it on bigger canvases. Just one of those things. And hopefully there's enough paint on here. Now I'm going to take my chain, which is really kind of plasticky, but put the paint, put the chain through and around the push pins that are just being used as guidelines right now. And I'm going to be taking those off once I get this laid down on the bottom. Looks easier than it is, guys. And I'm leaning over stuff, so this is not a fun time for me. But now this makes it easier for me to, instead of trying to set it in place and trying to move it. So now I have my chain. This is a plastic chain set there. Now I'm going to take white again. Since these are canvases, I don't have to worry about covering the sides. In fact, it's probably better that I'm not covering the sides. And I'm going to try to go around the edge so I have a white base for the chain to pull through without touching it. Looks easier than it is, trust me on this. Move it in from the edge, and I mixed my paints and I put them in a little squeeze bottle so I wouldn't just be dumping paint on the canvases. And I got my white down. Pretty sure there's enough there. And it might go over the edge, but it might not. Now, I'm going to take these 4 pins up when I have the colors down that I want. The colors that I'm going to be using are Diazonine purple, if I could say it. And I have them in little squeeze bottles that hopefully will behave themselves. And I'm going to put that right along the edge. And get really quiet. And hopefully have enough paint to go all the way around. And I do. Oh, that's too much paint. But that's okay. We'll work with this. Then I've got some blue. It might not come out as pretty as I thought it would, but it's worth it to give it a try. And I've got blue that I'm going to use next. I'm going to put that in a straight line if I can. Harder than it seems. And try not to, oh, I can feel it kind of gumming up. So shake your bottle. Put it around, and then I'm going to use a little bit of gold And I'm going to try to overlay it, but gold is a good separator, so hopefully it won't make it be too muddy, and it'll give it some extra punch. I'm going to go around it a little bit more and just go over top of the other color. And I hope this one area here doesn't end up being a problem. But now that I have my chain where I need it, what I'm going to do now, because it's on the outside, now here comes the tricky part. So I'm going to use my brush in the middle, and let me not put gold in there. Let me put a little bit of gold right in the center. I'm going to hold this down with the paint on it, and I'm going to remove these pins. They shouldn't be that hard to remove because they were barely put in there, but you see the paint's holding them in now. Okay, I'm going to do that again, left-handed. Wish me luck. And I'm going to go to the center one. It doesn't have any. They're staying in. And the one on the edge. And the one on this edge. And now what I'm going to do is smooth out this paint just a little bit. And now I'm going to pull the chain, if I have it in frame, and I do, right into this cup. Hopefully not wear this, but let's see if I can put that to the side. And sit down so I am not leaning over it, and evenly pull it on both at the same time. And I'm pulling, 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 and it goes to the center, and it is fabulous. Look at that, will you please? Is that not fabulous? This is the only area here that didn't work the way I wanted. I'm going to take a piece of clean chain, and I'm just going to set it down and drag it through. Not as pretty as I wanted, but the rest of it is absolutely perfect. It's exactly what I wanted it to do. So let me set that down. Oh, hold on. I just messed it up just a little bit. It's my first try doing this type. Now, is that fabulous or what? And I'll be on 3 different canvases, and they're all going to basically look the same. Let me wipe my hands a little bit. And I'm going to torch this, if I can find my torch. Oh, there it is. Got a little bit more white in this one area. That's okay. Let me get my paint out of the way so I don't set it on fire. This is fabulous. Even this area messed up right here, I can live with. Should have watched it a little closer. Not too shabby. Now all I need to do is, I don't even have to take these out while it's drying. That is fabulous. This is Angela with Creatively Done. It took me about 2 hours to set this up, and it took me, 30 seconds to actually execute it. However, setting it up properly is the best way to do it. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to blow it. I'm not going to tilt it. Even this area right here, I'm going to embellish that a little bit. Maybe make it look like a peacock. And see if I can find my thing to pause the video or stop the video. This is Angela with Creatively Done. And this is our, let's see, I'm going to call it a peacock chain pull on 3 different canvases. Have a great day. Get something creatively done.